Hello, everyone. Today, we're diving into a key aspect of Japanese society, the history of the Yakuza. In this series, we'll trace the evolution of the Yakuza, from their origins to modern times. In this episode, we'll focus on their beginnings, and how they grew from their early days to the post-war period. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, hit the like button, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next episode. The overview of modern Yakuza. Let's start by explaining the modern Yakuza. The term Yakuza refers to organized crime syndicates in Japan, often known as Boryokudan or violent groups. Today, the Yakuza operate mainly within Japan, and there are several large organizations. Some of the most well-known are the Yamaguchi-gumi, Sumiyoshi-kai, and Inagawa-kai. These groups engage in a wide range of activities, from illegal operations such as gambling, drug trafficking, and extortion, to involvement in legitimate businesses, like construction and real estate. The Yakuza are known for their strict codes of conduct, their unique rituals, and their emphasis on loyalty within the organization. However, in recent years, stricter law enforcement and societal pressure have reduced the scope of their activities. Even so, their influence remains significant in certain sectors. But where did this all begin? Let's take a look at the origins of the Yakuza. The origins of Yakuza in the Muromachi period. The history of the Yakuza can be traced back to the Muromachi period 14th–16th century. During this time, also known as the Warring States period, Japan was plagued by constant conflicts. Amid this chaos, local vigilante groups emerged to protect towns and villages, and these groups are often considered the forerunners of the Yakuza. Originally, these groups were known as Kyokaku or Honorable Outlaws, and they played a role in maintaining order and protecting local populations, especially merchants and farmers. However, over time, these groups began to exploit their power, and gradually transformed into criminal organizations. During this period, some characteristics of the modern Yakuza began to form, including the use of violence to enforce control and extortion practices. While these early groups often justified their actions as noble, they increasingly engaged in illegal activities to expand their influence. The development of the Yakuza in the Edo period. Next, let's look at the Edo period 17th–19th century, when the Yakuza began to solidify their role in society. Under the peaceful reign of the Tokugawa shogunate, Japan experienced a long period of stability. Yet, even in this era, the Yakuza were gaining strength, albeit in different forms. During the Edo period, the Yakuza were primarily divided into two groups: Bakudo gamblers and Tekiya street vendors. The Bakudo made their living from gambling dens, while the Tekiya controlled street markets and fairs. Both groups wielded influence over local communities, and, at times, were even utilized by the shogunate or feudal lords for their own purposes. As their influence grew, both Bakudo and Tekiya expanded their power and control over areas of society. They even took on roles as de facto law enforcers, in some regions, solving local disputes. However, the violent nature of their activities, including territorial disputes and illicit earnings, only deepened. Yakuza expansion and modernization in the Meiji period. Entering the Meiji period late 19th to early 20th century, Japan underwent rapid modernization, and the Yakuza also adapted to these changes. The Meiji Restoration brought about significant social upheaval, and with the collapse of the feudal system, the Yakuza found new opportunities to expand their operations. With Japan's industrialization and modernization, the Yakuza began engaging in new activities, including labor disputes, political activism, and even legal businesses. During this period, the Yakuza organizations grew in size and became more structured, resembling modern crime syndicates. In the rapidly modernizing society, the Yakuza continued to operate in traditional ways, but also took advantage of new opportunities to increase their influence. Their ability to adapt to the shifting political and social landscape allowed them to thrive during this period. The Yakuza and Japan's imperial expansion. By the early 20th century, as Japan expanded its influence across Asia, the Yakuza also began extending their operations beyond Japan's borders. During the period of Japan's imperial expansion, particularly in the time leading up to and during the Sino-Japanese War and Russo-Japanese War, the Yakuza found opportunities to expand their illegal activities into mainland Asia. At this time, the Yakuza built strong connections with the Japanese military. They engaged in smuggling, black market trade, and various illicit businesses, both in Japan and in the colonies. Their role in these activities aligned with Japan's imperial ambitions, and at times they were even utilized by the government. The Yakuza were involved in supporting Japan's imperial efforts, especially in regions like Manchuria and mainland China. However, their primary goal was often personal profit, using the chaotic conditions to expand their influence across the continent. Today, we've explored the origins of the Yakuza, from their early days, as vigilante groups in the Muromachi period, through their development into organized criminal groups in the Edo period, and their expansion during the Meiji era and Japan's imperialist expansion in the early 20th century. This history lays the foundation for understanding how the Yakuza became such a powerful force in modern Japan. In the next episode, we'll dive into the post-war period, and the significant changes that reshaped the Yakuza into the organizations we know today. If you're interested in learning more about the Yakuza, be sure to subscribe, hit that like button, and turn on notifications, so you don't miss the next installment. Thank you for watching. Please remember to subscribe to the channel, give this video a thumbs up, and hit the notification bell, so you won't miss any future episodes. See you next time as we continue our journey through the history of the Yakuza.